Virgo. Hi, Virgo. We've got a big old bump of energy. That's good for you. Hi, I'm doing your energy check-in for the full moon in Leo, the wolf moon, which technically hit at peak last night. So we are in the waning gibbous mode, but we're still under Leo. And yeah, I just wanted to get these out for you guys. Without further ado, let's just jump right into this, yeah? Okay, ooh. Virgo, let's see what goes on with you. Virgo. That's about right. I'll definitely get a clarifier there. All right, Virgo, let's see what this all shakes out to be. So, Virgo, this will start out with the Knight of Swords energy. Knight of Swords talks about fast-moving energy, fast-moving messages, a flurry of information coming at you. And it also is crossed by the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is the energy of the wounded warrior. Okay, so together what I see here is the idea that there was a lot of, you just heard about a lot of information came at you in a flurry, but one of the things that's coming through really strongly right now is that you were put in a position where you needed to execute in a way that was so pointed, and so you just had to like turn off all the noise, get to the thing that you do best, and just do it without thinking. That's the energy of the Knight of Swords to me. He's charging in fast, and he's been well trained for what he does, and such as his discipline in this activity. For the Knight of Swords, it's killing, but is that nothing can distract him. Nothing around, it's that kind of that honed laser focus of like, I see my, my target is in the crosshairs, and I have to just go get that thing, and anybody out here can batter me, and I'm not going to be knocked off my course. And I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna get that thing, I'm gonna kill it, and then I'm gonna get out. And that's the energy of the Knight of Swords. That's what's happened. That this is the, your current energy has to do with this, and this could be something that you've done, the energy that you're in right now. And what's crossing you is that once you get out of that energy of like execute, is this feeling of like a little bit exhaustion. You're a little exhausted by it. It took every last ounce of you in order to commit to it, and you win. But there's not this sense of like a clear victory of like, I won and it was a breeze, and now I'm, here on my victory procession and in full hair and makeup. It's kind of like, okay, I won. My wands are still standing. I'm exhausted. That was really hard. And so it's acknowledging that that this thing that you did, you went in and you killed it, but it was hard, and it wasn't without its. You didn't come out of it without your war wounds, and but you did win, and so that's good. At the root of this is an aha moment, is a breakthrough. You had a breakthrough, Virgo. And there was a lot of mental clarity. There was very clear communication for some of you. It's going to be, but whatever spurred all of this on came from this enlightening moment, this breakthrough moment, whether it came from communications outside, a new idea, new information, or just your own, notion of something, you know, imbued to you by universe, like just and the aces do speak of this, you know, it doesn't have to be from external forces outside of the universe. That is, you know, it's as if the universe comes in and says here, and you're just imbued with this knowledge, you know, it just occurs to you to have this idea, to, you know, have this notion. And so all of this is spurred on by this breakthrough moment. And this information, by the way, causes a breakthrough, an epiphany. And so that's what's at the root of this event, this incident, this energy that you're in at the current moment. In the past, Virgo, you're in this energy, the Queen of Pentacles. Like, it's the sense of this moment, this epiphany, bringing you more into yourself. You know, it's earth energy in general. So, you know, just for some of you, because this is a general reading, it could also have to do with other earth signs. Doesn't have to, but, or somebody with a lot of earth in their chart or in their essence, and their sort of in the way about them. And the earth signs, of course, are Capricorn, Taurus, and you, Virgo. And so, but the way I'm seeing this right now, Virgo, is in your recent past, this epiphany moment brought you more forward to yourself. You became more of you, which is to say that you're this really beautiful, highly exalted aspect of creation and nurturing. And there's also a sense of material stability about the Queen of Pentacles. A lot of mothering in this. So in your recent past, your mother could, or somebody who plays as a maternal figure in your life, could have been a part of this inspiration. Or this epiphany moment. But I really see this, you know, perhaps there's like a little bit of converging on those two ideas, where this, you know, you're blending over the lessons that came from your mother, and that's allowing you to come forward more fully as yourself, more realized, as a more mature and more exalted, more sophisticated version of yourself. You know, it is a sort of, you know, this growth. The Queen is a very exalted aspect of her element, and of you, Virgo. And so that allows this epiphany forward. That allows, you know, you to go in and execute, have the notion to go in and execute this with such laser focus and ferocity, and to actually, you know, come out with a win, even if it was hard fought and hard won. At the top, crowning energy is the Hanged Man, and this is a really enlightened energy. The Hanged Man talks about stepping back and, you know, seeing things from a different perspective, a new perspective, for the sake of enlightenment. And I think that this moment, this thing that roots you, look at how this mirrors, these ideas mirror each other visually in the depiction. It's the same shape. And so it's as if this activity of meditation, of being able to see things from a different perspective, to really turn things over, and think critically about things, allows breakthrough and epiphany, and allows you to figure things out, and allows mental clarity. This begets this, right? And it makes a lot of sense. And that's what's crowning you, rooting you and crowning you. This is just math. And this equation is very balanced, Virgo. And then in your near future is the Hierophant. This is a card of deep practice and discipline, and also of leveling up, going to the next level. The Hierophant has a headdress that is 3 tiers, and it talks about the levels of the spirit realms, or, you know, it's the spirit realm below, the realm of earth, and then the spirit realm above. And so it speaks of, in your near future, of you establishing and leveling up. The Hierophant is also a card of spiritual establishment here on earth. It's tradition, it's structure in that way. He mirrors the energy of the emperor in the sense of his structure, and power as well here on earth. He's got delegation powers over people as well. So this is something that levels up and becomes, you know, for some of you, if this is a business venture that you are embarking on, it goes to the next level. It's, it expands, and you become, from a sole proprietorship to, to gaining employees. And for others of you, whatever practice that you're committing to or discipline that you're committing to does level up and legitimizes and becomes something that you can do on a regular basis. And it's also something that speaks to you spiritually, though. This isn't just like corporate, this is something that does speak to being nurtured and nourished spiritually as well. It is the Hierophant, and it's a very practiced, it's a very a disciplined practice of spirituality. So it's also the card of Taurus, which is more earth energy. It's what else can I say? So there's a bunch of stuff that's coming through and kind of bottlenecking on the Hierophant for me right now. But it's, but in your near future, the idea in general is that something is beginning to ground and become more legitimized, because you're going to the next level of this practice that you're committing to, that you had the epiphany and clarity of mind to go after and get a win on. And it took a lot of sage, enlightened approach, and mulling over and meditation, and and it does bring you ascension. It does bring you ascension, spiritual ascension here on earth. You are in the energy of this is so great. You're in the energy of the Eight of Pentacles, which means that you are just doing your work. You are working on it. And it's really, really beautiful to me when I see like all of this like aha, magic stuff happening in the spiritual realm, how that often manifests, and you look around, like so much is going on the inside, so much is going on spiritually. But in the day-to-day, it's just like, I'm just doing my work, man. And it's steady work, it's disciplined work. This activity mirrors the spirit of the Hierophant. This is what, this brings forth in you. And it's honest work. And you just know that things don't happen magically. Even if the PR story would make it seem like, these things happen overnight. It's just rinse and repeat. It's like, I'm going to make this pentacle on this day, and tomorrow I'm going to make this pentacle, and the next day I make this pentacle. One foot in front of the next. And that is how we move forward. And that is how we level up. And that is how things are done. And it's beautiful because you know that, and you know to do your work. You know that because you are wise. And in your environment is of course, it's the Seven of Pentacles, and it means that the work that you're putting in, you can reap the fruit of your efforts. The fruit of your labors are on the horizon in your environment. This to me means that when you do your work, when you do your share, the universe, you just set it, then you back away, and the universe, does the rest. And isn't that how planting seems, right? We till the soil, we plant the seeds, we water it, and then we step back, and it feels like we're stepping back. And, and then we just let nature take its course. We let the universe come in and bring forth beautiful, beautiful crops of gorgeous, gorgeous fruit that is super, super sweet, that we can eat and suck the juice out of forever and ever, or at least for the rest of the year. And then we'll can the rest, right? And it's, and that feels like magic. But it's not. It's just, you've done your work, you've done your part, and now you get to see reap the rewards of the time and the work that you've invested. And this is in your environment. It's all working for you. This is it makes sense that these are your external forces. These are things that are out of your control. What's out of your control? The work that the universe is doing for you, because you've set it in motion, and now the rest just needs to come and fall into place. That's how that works. That's kind of amazing, Virgo. And your hopes and fears is the Wheel of Fortune. Why is that? It's because you are, look, life is a series of cycles, right? And what comes up must go down. And I think that, when we're in an ascension period, it's so easy to go right to, oh God, I don't want to lose this. Oh God, I know that, the other shoe has to drop. It's not like, one of those waves. I feel like I should know that. Oh, sorry. It's not, like for every up is an equal down. That's not how the wheel turns. It's a series of cycles, but every cycle can be continuous ascension. It can be ascension and regression. You kind of choose your own adventure, right? And it's just that you always get a cosmic do-over no matter what. It's one of those things where you get to a certain point in your life and it is very spiritually disciplined and takes a great deal of beautiful, beautiful humility to understand that when you are at the top of your game, or you feel like you're at the most top that you've ever been before, that the wheel will turn, and that will, you have to keep going, and first of all, it doesn't mean that you're going to plummet, that, misfortune is the next thing that's guaranteed. That's not what that means. It means that that the playing field changes and that you have to keep going. You have to, keep expanding. But you know what, Virgo, you know that. You've been doing it the whole time. But it's in your hopes and fears that the wheel will turn, because perhaps, I think this speaks to how high you're getting right now, like you've never been here before. Maybe like all of, your ascensions previous to this felt like, yeah, I've always had that in my scope, but this is new. Like this is kind of like outside the boundary for you. And it feels like you don't want to lose it, right? And, but the Wheel of Fortune is also here to tell you that fixed wants to come through, because of course all the fixed signs are represented on this. And so again, just yell them out: Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. So some of you may be dealing with those signs in your hopes and fears category. Yeah, it's understood that this is a part of being in Ascension, is the idea that you haven't been here before and you're afraid of, you wonder how long it'll last, but the thing about Ascension is you get there and you can just choose to stay there, keep going, and I think you push on. So, okay, let's not dwell there too long, but so you have the Five of Cups in your outcome. And this is a sense of walking away from things that no longer serve. And Virgo, that's what we need to talk about with the Wheel of Fortune. How do you avoid regression? You identify the things that are no longer serving you. As you get to the new ascended level, you're like, okay, how do I stay here? Or how do I keep moving forward? How do I get, you take stock. And gain an enlightened position on the things in your life that are really working for you and bringing you more abundance. And you also identify the things that are no longer serving and that you need to walk away from. It's a sense of, when this happens, there's a sense of disappointment around those things that you identify. Perhaps they're things that it's not where you were expecting to find them, right? It's Cups energy, it's emotional. And the advice here is to be careful not to dwell on it too long. Identify it and pay homage to it. Bid it adieu, give it the time it deserves, whatever these energies are. And then, you know, and be okay to move away. Don't dwell on the disappointment. We're going to get more clarification on this. This just acknowledges that, you know, that there's an emotional hit here when you walk away from these things that no longer serve you in an emotional and spiritual way. They're not filling these cups anymore, and these cups are spilled. You do have your back turns towards two upturned cups that identifies that that those things, there may be room for reconsideration on a couple of these energies. And this is something that you'll discover. It will be different for everybody when you go back to your practice, your spiritual practice, and you'll be enlightened through those things. Let's get you a little bit more information on your outcome, and let's talk about your ascension period. Oh, okay, Virgo. I need to drink coffee for this. So what we got going on here? All good things. It's gonna bring up some stuff. Okay? And what happens is, is we've got the Two of Swords, we've got a Tower, we've got the King of Pentacles, the divine counterpart to the Queen of Pentacles, and the Devil, okay? What often happens, and you know, this is supporting this energy. Basically, it's talking about some of the byproducts of your success, really. So let's just hammer that point home of your success. And then you take stock, and you identify the things that no longer serve you, and there's going to be stuff that's really clear and really evident, and then there's going to be stuff that's less so. And you have to understand by going within. This blindfolded person is usually talking about what you don't know about, like the things that are kept from you, the things in moonlight. But in this sense, it's almost as if you're the sage wushu kung fu master who blindfolds themselves to go deeper, yet deeper inside, to understand that you know what your inner voice is telling you about the emotional tumult that these aspects bring you. And the water in the background is not still. It's not peaceful water. It's choppy water, as we say, and it represents that, you know, the sort of emotional unrest that this person is deciphering. This is a crossroads. This is a decision that this person has to make, and they don't have all the information, is typically how this card is read. But again, Virgo, what I'm seeing here is that you're actually going inside and you're blocking out the 3D world so that you can access the astral plane and understand what your intuition is telling you. The moon here is your intuition about what needs to go, what you need to walk away from. It's going to, you know, bring about a paradigm shift. Some of these things, you know, you'll be discovering anew. Some of them you'll be able to identify very clearly. Others will be surprising to you, and that's what the Tower talks about, is sort of like some, you know, surprising rift and changes. But the Tower also talks about things that need to fall away. They have to fall. They're not made of strong enough stuff anymore, or it's made of what it was made of is rotting away. It's got to fall. The paradigm has to shift, and you're holding it up. You've been holding it up too long and too tenaciously, and it causes too much stress and anxiety. It's too much. You just got to let it fall away, and you get there. You're able to do it because you go deep inside and you start start to identify and understand what those things are. There's a divine counterpart here. Again, you are coming into yourself, coming toward, like, more fully realized as yourself in a very exalted way, and you're met here with an equal energy of two ways to read this. The King of Pentacles can be deemed a graduation, even further graduation from the Queen of Pentacles, not because of men and women and gender stuff, but that's just like how they ascend in the suit in terms of the tarot cards. So it's a level up. It's yet another level up, because isn't that what happens when you address these situations or the stuff that's been holding you back? You just keep on going. You just keep moving forward. But another way to look at this is it's a divine counterpart, and somebody meets you halfway with equal energy, and they're made of the same stuff. They're cut from the same cloth, and they're here to assist you on this journey. But more so for some of you, like, one or both of those things will ring. I think both things can be true. I really do see the ascension even continuing even further, and lots of pentacles, lots of earth energy, your earth, and so that makes sense. But it also talks about it being here in the 3D, in the material world, in terms of the stuff that allows abundance come flowing towards you. What you're doing, what this period is talking about, and what all of this moving out of old energies that that no longer serve, is opening up your channels towards receiving abundance. This is an abundance reading, Virgo, and you're graduating to the ultimate level. The devil is here to talk about some stuff that it brings up, and the devil is about personal bondage and obsessions and oftentimes addictions, and it also talks about lust and a deep internal drive, sort of more in the positive level. But, you can see how that's a fine line, and that can, that ambition can turn to obsession. And so that's sort of like the tightrope walk of the devil energy. You can harness this. It doesn't have to necessarily go away completely. But when this energy is brought up again by this processing that you're doing, and this tower falling away, and the debris here kind of kicking up some stuff and going, oh my gosh, this thing that's in my wake. It's just acknowledging that this is a part of your ascension. It's just a part of the ascension, and not to minimize it, but it's really should encourage you that and you get to really scour those channels, don't you? So that you can eliminate the stuff that pulls you towards obsession and towards anything that for some of you might bring towards addiction, or just behaviors and lusts and deep-seated pulls that you feel that start to bring you out of a place that you can control. And when you can harness it, it can be a beautiful ambition, like a lust for life, that you can use that. If this energy won't go away, harness it. You can use it. And it can become similar to this energy, which is that honed laser focus. And you just put all of that lust and ambition and drive into executing and killing it again, right? So that's the advice that universe has for you. It's intense. It's really cool. I really like it. Virgo, I'm going to leave your reading there. And I hope this resonated with you. If it does, please hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you feel so moved. Drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope to see you at the next one. In the meantime, I'm sending you so much love and light. Bye for now.